House of Representatives seeks suspension of deduction on COVID-19 loan waiver for vulnerable houses. More news and reports after this break.
Of course now, they use money points.
Confirmed.
Money point made for your progress.
Hey, with Tasty Tom and Derica, your unique pin can make you a millionaire. Buy any Tasty Tom tomato mix or Derica tomato mix promo pack. Reveal the unique pin inside. Dial *8011 *2 unique pin hash. Win airtime instantly and stand a chance to win big cash prizes.
Enjoy delicious meals. Text and win big.
Tasty Tom, Derica Millionaire Splash promo. Become an double this season.
Glad to have you on the second segment of the news. The House of Representatives has asked the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Nassau Microfinance Bank, and the Federal Ministry of Finance to immediately suspend all deductions on COVID-19 intervention loans while granting total waiver on the outstanding COVID-19 intervention loans owed by vulnerable households and micro businesses. In a resolution following a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by the Deputy Chairman of the House Committee on Finance, Saidu Musa Abdullahi, the House asked the relevant agencies of government to put into consideration the inability of Nigerians to pay back the loan due to current harsh economic conditions. It mandates the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nassau Microfinance Bank, and Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria to restructure repayment terms for SMEs by extending moratoriums and then reducing interest rate and spreading repayment over longer timelines in order to safeguard jobs and prevent a business collapse. While leading debate on the motion, Abdullahi recalled that the federal government, through the Central Bank of Nigeria and Nassau Microfinance Bank, introduced the COVID-19 targeted credit facility during the pandemic, disbursing 419.42 billion naira to households, micro, small and medium enterprises to cushion the devastating socio-economic impact of the global lockdown. He expressed concern that as at September 2023, 261.07 billion naira of the loans remained unpaid, while 378.03 billion naira was classified as outstanding, reflecting widespread inability to repay among vulnerable households and micro enterprises. It said the continued automatic debit and aggressive recoveries are inflicting severe hardship on vulnerable Nigerians, risking the collapse of small businesses, worsening unemployment, and heightening social instability. A coalition of civil society organizations and pro-democracy activists in Ogun State has joined the global community to mark the 2025 International Human Rights Day. This year's celebration focuses on the theme, Human Rights are Everyday Essentials. At the event held in Abeokuta, activists, legal experts, youth groups, and community leaders gathered to examine Nigeria's human rights landscape and the urgent need to safeguard fundamental freedom. Nkem Ago reports.
A coalition of civil society organizations and pro-democracy activists in Ogun State continues to promote democracy, good governance, and citizens' rights, uniting regularly to demand accountability and advocate for improved living conditions. Recent engagements also show renewed emphasis on peaceful civic actions and anti-corruption advocacy, including calls for justice in the wake of the death of Comrade Tunde Oladunjoye and wider campaigns for youth inclusion. Chairman of the coalition, Comrade Solomon Bankole, appreciates participants and calls for stronger government accountability and a sustained commitment to protecting the rights of the citizens across Ogun State and Nigeria.
Education, information, and to fight for the masses. Because when you look at what is happening in the country, a lot of aberrations are happening, a lot of right abuses are happening. And what we do is to be in gap to help the masses.
Speakers emphasize that human rights are not privileges for a select few, but essential entitlements guiding daily life, ranging from access to education and healthcare to justice, free expression, and participation in governance.
Individuals will be protected irrespective of race or socio-economic status. That is why I want to appeal to you to let us continue to stand in solidarity to all those that are protecting the freedom of individuals in society. Good governance is not what we do from the tree or crop. It is a participatory process. And when we get that right, we will be able to get that good governance.
Chairman of Nigerian Bar Association Ogun State Branch, Barrister Kayode Aderemi, explained factors behind rising cases of unlawful arrest, gender-based violence, and shrinking civic space in the country.
The media has a lot of role to play there. Rich people or people with means use police to harass, to bully. In the minds of those watching that are not very informed, to their minds, it's a right thing to do. We should endeavor to know what the law is so that we will not continue to infringe on the rights of ourselves.
Guests also reminded government and citizens that democracy can only thrive when human rights are upheld without compromise. As the world marks the 2025 International Human Rights Day, the coalition reaffirmed its dedication to justice, equality, and strengthening democratic values, ensuring human rights remain an everyday reality for all. Nkem Agu, Ogtv News.
Efforts to strengthen safe delivery practices and reduce maternal and infant mortality take center stage in Ogun State as traditional birth attendants and health professionals gather for the 2025 Annual Birth Attendants Conference. The conference, organized by the Ogun State Alternative Medicine Board, focuses on improving hygiene, record keeping, and timely referrals, while also enhancing collaboration between traditional birth attendant and the former health system. Olaide Oloye reports from June 12 Cultural Center in Abeokuta, venue of the event.
To address the rising need for safer delivery practices in Nigeria, the Ogun State Alternative Medicine Board hosts the 2025 Annual Birth Attendants Conference, bringing together traditional birth attendants, healthcare professionals, government officials, and other stakeholders. In attendance are the Deputy Governor, Engineer Noemot Salako Oyedele, and the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, among others. Declaring the conference open on behalf of Governor Dapo Abiodun, the Deputy Governor calls for stronger collaboration between traditional birth attendants and the formal medical sector. She emphasizes the administration's ongoing investment in the health sector, including capacity building, renovation of primary healthcare centers, and expansion of the Ogun State Health Insurance Scheme to give more pregnant women access to quality health.
As birth attendants, you must remain alert, cautious, and guided by best practices. No mother or child should be lost due to negligence, misinformation, or procedures that no longer meet safety standards. As a government, we remain committed to building an enabling environment for safe maternal health care.
Experts at the conference highlight the law guiding the board and stress adherence to approved healthcare guidelines. They advocate strict compliance with hygiene standards, proper record keeping, and prompt referrals to medical professionals.
They are expected to ensure that they refer, because there's every consequences for everything that they do. If they fail to refer on time, then that could result to civil or criminal liabilities on their part.
We want to prevent our mothers from dying. We don't want the pregnant mothers to die. We don't want their newborns also to die, so that when they know the right thing to do, they will be able to, send them to the right place at the right time.
Earlier, the chairman of the Ogun State Alternate Medicine Board, Balogun Nuruddin Olaleye, appreciates the government's support and outlined the board's continuous effort in upgrading the skills of birth attendants across the 3 senatorial districts.
They need day-to-day activities of managing their ability to perform very well. We are a parastatal under same Ministry of Health, so we collaborate with.
Participants express optimism that the resolutions reached will help safeguard the lives of mothers and babies, ultimately improving maternal health outcomes across the state. Olaide Oloye, Ogtv News.
And away from health, a failed coup attempt in the Republic of Benin has stirred tension across West Africa. The plot carried out by a faction calling itself the Military Committee for Refoundation was quickly suppressed with support from Nigerian forces and loyal Benin military officials. To gauge public reaction, Ogtv News crew was in town to gather opinions on the coup attempt and the state of democracy in Africa. Taiwo Blessed report is presented from our studios.
A group of soldiers in Benin Republic identifying themselves as the Military Committee for Refoundation attempted to seize power in a sudden move aimed at toppling the democratic government. The coup was, however, quickly suppressed through the swift response of loyal security forces with support from Nigeria and other regional allies, preventing what would have destabilized the region. Following the failed coup, which has sparked concern across West Africa, our crew headed to Abeokuta, the state capital, to hear what Nigerians think.
Something must have been burning, something must have been praying before such happened. If those issues are not attended to, I am afraid there may be a reintroduction of such. So the leaders in Africa must be reawakened to their culture. They should serve the people.
I want to vehemently condemn the plots, and we don't wish to have it in Nigeria. Nigeria is too big to have a coup. I mean, there are divisions before it's. I mean, if it's been planned in Lagos, before it gets to Itiroko or Wode, getting to Abeokuta before going to Ibadan, it will be leaked. So we are rest assured that Nigeria, we cannot have a successful coup.
Some respondents said democracy is not working in Nigeria as expected, arguing that the system should better prioritize citizens' welfare.
I prefer democracy, because in democracy, everybody will have peace of mind. You can be able to express your feelings.
Others insisted democracy remains the best option for Africa, but only with leaders who serve the people rather than personal interest.
The worst democracy is better than any form of military. Democracy is fine, but at the same time, it should be a wake-up call to our leaders. No one is immune. It is happening here, it is happening there. We don't pray for it, but if we don't do the needful, we cannot rule out the possibility of such happening.
Another respondent noted that Africa needs accountable and transparent leadership, adding that the failed Benin coup reminds us that democracy is not automatic, it must be protected.
Democracy in Africa at the moment is full of self-centeredness due to the fact that everybody, they are fighting for their mouth and their pockets. If we stick to democracy, we have the chance to talk to our elders. Opportunity from there will get to us wherever we are.
They urged leaders to work towards good governance and uphold democratic ideals.
The High Court of Ogun State has dismissed the claim by the suspended chairman of Ijebu East local government, Honorable Wale Adedayo, against the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun. Honorable Adedayo, 2 years ago instituted the suit challenging his suspension as the council boss, alleging that the governor orchestrated his suspension. Dismissing all his claims against the governor, the court held that the local government is a separate entity distinct from the governor. The court, however, could not find any nexus between the petition and the alleged political differences. Agreeing with the first defendant through his counsel, Adekunle Manuel, Assistant Director, Civil Litigations, who appeared with PM Shebiomo, confirmed there was no convincing evidence to suggest that the governor was behind the petition or that such petition was written due to the claimed allegation of political differences. The court equally found that since the local government and its legislative council were separate from the governor could not be held responsible for their action or inaction. Furthermore, varied provisions of the local government law of Ogun State states that it was only the governor that could suspend the claim for a period of 3 months, a step the governor never took. In the final analysis, the judge noted that since the tenure of the claimant had lapsed, he could not be restored to his office despite the steps taken towards his removal being illegal, null and void. A former Minister of Aviation, Senator Stella Odua, has been arraigned before the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Maitama, Abuja, by the federal government over allegations bordering on corruption in the sum of 5 billion naira. She was arraigned by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, on 5 counts bordering on conspiracy and obtaining money by false pretenses. In one of the counts, Stella Odua was accused of obtaining by fraudulent pretenses a sum of 2.4 billion naira through Broad Waters Resources from the Federal Ministry of Aviation. She was said to have fraudulently claimed that the money was the cost of technical supervision. The fraud was said to have been committed in January 2014. In one of the counts, Odua was accused of fraudulently obtaining the sum of 2.4 billion naira through accompanying Broadwater Resources from the Federal Ministry of Aviation under the pretense that the funds were for technical supervision. In other counts, she was alleged to have collected 1.6 billion naira and another 839 million naira using similar means, contrary to provisions of the Advance Fee Fraud and Other Fraudulent Related Offences Act. Former Governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, has assured members of Abeokuta Sports Club of his readiness to support their growth and development. Oshoba stated this during his investiture as live vice patron of the club, established in 1972. Chief Oshoba regards the honor bestowed on him as one of the greatest recognitions of his life. He was decorated alongside Chief Olusegun Shokeye. The veteran journalist, in response to some questions and comments from members of the club, noted that lack of continuity from successive administrations in both state and federal levels have been responsible for the national development.
Stand here today feeling highly fulfilled. I say fulfilled because no matter what order that one might have achieved, no matter the achievements, the greatest one is the one at your root. And Eda is my root. Abeokuta is my root. So the honor that I'm being given today, I see it as the greatest of the greatest of honor. And I want to assure you that the grace of God, as well as I will rise to the occasion
of whatever you want me to be doing in this job, for this honor, I'll for you to do it.
Said that various people-oriented programs initiated by his administration were abandoned by successive government. In particular, Chief Oshoba explained that the funds expended on sponsored pilgrimages were redirected towards education, especially for payment of the West African Examinations Council (WAEC) fees of all students and for the purchase of desks and benches. He said the effort was to ensure that no child was denied the opportunity due to financial constraints. The Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ogun State Information Chapel, has organized its 2025 Christmas Carol service of 5 lessons tagged Jesus, Joy to the World. The service witnessed presentations from the chapel choir, Bible lessons, and goodwill messages from government officials. Olaide Oloye completes the report.
The spirit of Christmas filled the air as the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ogun State Information Chapel, held its 2025 Christmas Carol of 5 lessons with the theme, Jesus, Joy to the World. The event gathered journalists, government information officers, invited clerics, and members of the public who converged to celebrate the birth of Christ through ministrations, Bible readings, lessons, and soul-lifting messages. In his welcome address, the chairman of the chapel, Comrade Femi Oshipito, described the theme as a reminder of the enduring hope that Jesus brings to a troubled world. He emphasized that the Christmas season offers an opportunity for renewed love, peace, and unity, especially among media professionals who play a crucial role in shaping society.
Ever since we also took over the mantle of leadership of the chapel, we have consistently been able to organize this Christmas Carol service, and of course, not just Christmas Carol, we also organize Ramadan lecture every year, and that speaks to the fact that spiritual welfareism is also of topmost priority to our administration. We thank God.
The highlight of the program was the 5 lessons taken by dignitaries present, which include the Ogun State Head of Service, Mr. Kehinde Onosoya, recounting the prophecy, birth, and joy of the coming of the Messiah.
Journalists need prayer. Prayer is the key, and job is very, very risky. We must continue to pray for one another. For the Ogun State Council of NUJ, the election is coming. If you want to continue to imbibe and reflect on the value of Christmas, which is love, I want us to approach that election without any form of acrimony.
A goodwill message from the chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ogun State Council, Comrade Akinwale Olanrewaju, and other government officials commended the NUJ Information Chapel for sustaining the annual tradition, noting that Christmas is a time to embrace compassion and strengthen communal bonds. The choir thrilled the audience with several melodious carols and other Christmas classics that kept participants in a reflective and celebratory mood. Olaide Oloye, Ogtv News.
Business news is next. Just stay with us.